Hello, good afternoon. Hello, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, or maybe good morning to you. Can you hear me at all?
I can hear you now.
You can hear me. Okay, perfect. Very good. Everything okay? How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. So good morning for me.
Yes, it's definitely still a good morning to you. Exactly. It's a good afternoon here. Ian,
It's
Ian. How do I pronounce
Ian,
it?
Ian, Ian.
Ian. Okay, I see. Ian, I see. It's nice to meet you, Ian. Thank you for making a reservation. I believe LJ recommended me
Yes,
to
yes, please.
you. Okay, I see. Oh, interesting. Thank you very much. I'm happy to hear that you were doing well, and thank you for making a reservation, Ian. I appreciate it. I hope LJ said good things about me. I hope.
Yeah, yes. That's why he recommended you to me.
Good. Okay, perfect. Happy to hear that. Lovely. How was your morning, Ian? Everything
Yeah,
okay?
I just wake up and finish my breakfast.
Oh, you still have to finish your bag. Oh, okay. I understand. Class right now, Ian. Do you have time?
Yeah, I have time.
You have time. Okay, I see.
Uh,
I don't want to bother you or interrupt
no,
you,
no,
of
no, no,
course.
no.
But it is nice to meet you, Ian. Let me very quickly introduce myself. My name is Peter. I'm from Belgium. I live in Japan, but I'm currently still in Belgium. I will return to Japan in a couple of weeks. So please keep in mind if you want to book future reservations with me, my schedule will change a lot. So please keep in mind that,
Yeah.
again, my schedule will change. Sorry about that. Just keep that in mind if you can. But it's nice to meet you, Ian. I presume you are you. I believe you mentioned to me that you are also from China. I believe.
Yeah, yes, please, from China.
R- right. And you mentioned as well that you are teaching Chinese. Is that
Yes, please.
your? Oh, so you're a teacher. That's your main job, is being a
Yeah,
teacher.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, very nice. We have the same job. Look at that. Well, a
Mhm.
little bit different, but the same job. I see.
Yeah.
So, who do you teach Chinese to, if I may ask, where you are? Who do you teach Chinese?
Who do
Like
I?
kids?
You mean my students?
Yeah, as there kids, adults,
Both,
private
both,
classes.
both. I teach like a primary school and a college, and
Oh,
yeah,
at college, at university, you teach.
not a university but a college. So in Barbados, some people don't go to university when they graduated from the high school. They just go to a
Right.
college.
Right.
It's not the same.
It's more like a technical college, like
Uh,
you have a specialized 3-year program for something, for
I think
example.
so. I think so.
Right.
They said it's not a university. It's a tree something. So it's primary, secondary, and a tree something.
Right, exactly. Ah, interesting. Okay, I see. Very interesting. Yeah, it's probably like in Belgium as well, like a technical college. I see. Oh, cool. So you teach in classrooms. You don't teach privately. You
Uh,
you teach
yes,
in
in
classrooms.
Barbados, yes, I teach a group, a class.
Okay.
But in China, I have worked in a Chinese teaching company. So it's usually the private one-to-one class.
Okay, I see. So basically, like this
Yes,
at that
please.
moment. Okay, I see. And so you have some experience. Really cool. We have almost the same job. I like that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, why did you go to Barbados? Did you come with LJ, or were you sent to Barbados, or did you just say I want
I
to, or
know,
what's
if you have heard the Confucius Institute is
the Cambridge? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
it's a Chinese teaching like organization. So
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that this Confucius Institute they wanna hire someone. They wanna have hire some teachers. So I
Mm-hmm.
applied this job and I interviewed and I got the
Cool.
offer and I came here.
Cool. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, that's really, really cool. So now you are living life in Barbados on the islands. Really cool. Are you planning to live your whole life in Barbados? Did you move full time, or did you?
Not really. Actually, this job is my internship.
That's your
Internship.
internship. Oh,
Yes.
so you're still studying? then? You're
Yeah,
still a university?
the graduate
Ah,
student.
oh, I see. I understand. I see. And do you enjoy teaching Chinese
Yes,
in
please.
Barbados?
Yes, please. That's why I came here, and
Very
the
good.
students, they are very kind, they are very nice.
Very nice.
Mhm.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm not sure how popular the Chinese language is in Barbados. I'm not sure if it's
Not really. So
not
this
really.
Confucius Institute is uh, founded in 2015. It's
Hmm.
about 7 years ago,
Right.
but actually not very popular. Not
Not
as
very,
popular as French and Spanish.
of course.
It's
Of
just
course.
beginning. It's just beginning.
Right, just beginning. Oh, but it's cool. You're starting it. It's really nice. Cool. I wish you good luck. It's really enjoyable to teach, of course. It's a very social and a very enjoyable job. I hope that I'm happy that your students are all very nice people. I wish you good luck at your job. I hope you enjoy yourself.
Thanks.
Ian, it's very, very nice. You're welcome. But again, thank you for also just coming to this class, Ian. I'm a little bit curious. Why are you now here on Cambly? Of course, for your English, but is it for your to support your teaching? Is it because you like English? What is the reason that you are here on Cambly? What's the reason?
Mm, Actually, I teach Chinese, but most of my students, they are beginners, so I have to use the English to
Right,
teach them. So that's
right,
why I wanna improve my English.
right.
Especially, I had a course in the college, which is the Introduction to Chinese Culture.
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
they can speak in Chinese, so I have to use the English to introduce the Chinese culture.
Of
Actually,
course.
that's a challenge for me. So I wanna improve my English, and
Okay.
when I finished my um, graduate degree, I think
Hmm.
maybe I wanna like go Europe or somewhere to maybe to continue my study.
Okay. Very good. All right. I'm happy you said Europe. Do you have a country in Europe that you want to go to, or
Maybe I think the Northern Europe.
the expensive part of Europe? Okay, I see. Okay, you want to? Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. Again, I'm from Belgium, of course. That's the France, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, Western Europe, right? But you want to go to Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark,
Yeah, I,
Scandinavia. I
mhm.
see. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Again, it's definitely a very nice place, but super expensive. Please beware of that, of
Yeah.
course. But really cool. I hope you'll be able to manage that. It's really interesting. And now I'm a little bit curious as well, Ian. How long have you now been on Cambly? How long have you been trying to improve your English on
Hmm.
Cambly?
So this is my second week, and it's
Oh,
my fifth class, I think.
oh, it's your fifth class. Oh, very okay. I see. Well, still welcome to Cambly. I hope someone welcomed you already. Welcome to Cambly, Ian.
Mm.
I want to ask you, Ian, what have you been doing over the past four classes? Because you mentioned to me as well that you have the IELTS test that you're interested in. Because I'm a little bit curious. What have you done in the past four classes?
Okay, so the first class, the teacher is from America, but she lives in Argentina. And I think
Okay.
she's a very great teacher.
Mm-hmm.
We introduced ourselves, and she introduced the IELTS speaking test for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
we tried the first part, which is the holiday and vacation. And she let me read some words and phrases and say
Mm-hmm.
if I know that. If I don't know that, she will explain it. And she would ask me some question like the IELTS exam, and she will correct me the mistakes. That's very
Mm-hmm.
good. And the second teacher, he's from the Mexico, so the accent is a little difficult for me. And
Right.
the third teacher is from American, but he lives in France. And
Mm-hmm.
he's also a very experienced teacher. But the second and the third teacher, they just chat, they just talk.
Just chatting, right?
Yeah, they don't use the PowerPoint.
Okay.
And the teacher, yesterday I had a class. The teacher, she's British, and I enjoy her class very much. She also used the PowerPoint, and she
Right.
asked me 3 questions about the hobbies and something, and I I answered, and she encouraged me and corrected the mistakes. And I like the way. I don't like just chatting. I don't like that.
You
So
don't enjoy that.
I'm a Chinese teacher. I know how it is important to learn like a system, not just a chat.
Right. Well, it depends on everyone's own perspective, right, Ian? So I'm a language consultant. That's my job. I usually work with people with various different perspectives for languages and different things that they want to achieve, right? For example, if we have children, it's very useful to only use the material because it's structured and people can easily, especially for children, that is very important. But when it comes to teaching adults, it is very different because every single person has their own goal.
Yeah.
Right. Every person needs other things for English. Some people are focused on the IELTS test. Some people only need speaking practice. Other people need pronunciation practice. It really depends on person to person. So I'm actually a little bit curious for you, Ian. What is your goal here on Cambly? What is your main goal? Is it just to practice, again, just using material and just just doing like regular English classes, or are there specific things that you want to work on Cambly? Is there certain things that you want to improve upon?
I think the most part that I want to improve is the fluency.
Fluency, okay.
I always speak English like, oh my God, what should I say? Oh my God, it's great. So that's really cool. And I think the pronunciation, I don't think it's a big problem for me.
No, it's okay. Your pronunciation is okay. That's all right. Okay, so fluency is the most important thing for you
Yes,
then.
please.
Okay, well, of course, in that situation, Ian, how many classes do you have per week? What's your schedule here?
3 classes per week and
3 classes per week.
half an hour.
Right, 3 times half an hour, right?
Yeah,
3 times half an hour.
Half an hour, yeah.
Okay, I see. Very good. Because since you mentioned that you enjoy a little bit more of a structured class, because generally for your situation, Ian, because I can hear you already have a little level on you. You are not a beginner English speaker, of course. You can already explain yourself. In that situation, I find it personally a little bit of a waste to just do like basic things with you. What is your hobby? Ian, what did you do today? Like, I would do that with like very beginner students, but for you, I would always like to make sure that we can challenge someone in your situation, and that we can actually give you the ability to explain yourself, and that you have the ability to talk as much as you can, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a bit curious, Ian, about this. What would you specifically like to do in your classes? Like, for example, do you want to sometimes do a class where you can just explain your thoughts for 30 minutes? Or do you feel, no, I want to do these type of classes where just like simple questions, I answer them? Would you like to maybe use for example, reading an article in advance, talking about this article in class? What do you think would be best for you? What do you think would work well for your situation?
I think the second, I prefer the second one.
You prefer the second one, so using actual material. You enjoy that. You enjoy that more. Right. Right. Okay. Are you then?
Materials.
Go ahead, Ian. Go ahead.
That's it. That's it.
That's it, pretty much. Okay, fair enough. I understand. Are you then also still interested in the IELTS test, or is that just something that the teacher gave to you? Or did you...
I choose it because they have some topics.
Just because of that. Okay, I see. That's the reason. Okay, because generally the IELTS test is focusing on how to answer questions properly. Right, Ian, it's not about the topic. It's about the way that we answer questions structuredly, and that we have the ability to make sure that we can pass our tests.
Oh, I
right?
see.
So it's not really about the topics. But if you feel more comfortable with that, I recommend that you use things like the advanced conversation topics. Have you already looked at the advanced conversation topics yet? Ian, have you looked at that yet?
Not really. I just came here for two weeks.
Right, for 2 weeks. Okay, so nobody has told you about that. Okay,
Yeah.
so there is many different topics, Ian. I'm someone, again, since I'm a language consultant, I don't really like to just give something to you because that usually is not the best way to work with adults. I recommend for you that you check out by yourself. You can check the material a little bit, the topics and stuff like that. And if you have a specific class that you would like to do with me, please make sure to send me a message. Peter, can we do this class in our next class? And then we can work on that if you want to. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, very good. Perfect. Because I like to make sure that we can structure our classes a little bit and that we can help each other as best I can. It's very important. Now, Ian, I'm a little bit curious as well. Can you, I'm also, because there's a lot of topics and stuff like that, and I'm curious, what type of topics are you interested in? What are some topics that are really important for you that you can express yourself in? What are some important topics for you?
Maybe like travel or some daily life topics. I don't like the politics. I don't like
You don't?
science.
Okay, right. So you enjoy more daily life
Yeah,
things,
the
just
daily
being.
life. Yeah, daily life.
Okay. So I'm a little bit curious, Ian, here as well, since you said you enjoy talking about daily life, because when we have in English, we call this small talk, right?
Small
Small
talk.
talk.
Small talk.
Small talk, right? Which is basically, this is something that people struggle with a lot, right? For example, you are with someone, what do you talk about? That is a really important skill, right, to have. And I'm curious, like when you have small talk with people, what do you usually like to talk about? For example, what type of questions do you like to ask people in small talk generally?
Like job.
Oh, fair enough.
And I don't know. I don't know.
It's an important skill, right? Being able to creatively talk with people, and especially as a teacher, right? We need to have the ability to encourage people to talk, and we need to be really social about our languages, right? Because it's the main thing about languages. And actually, otherwise, let me just start off with that, Ian. What can you tell me a little bit more about your job, what you're doing now in Barbados as a teacher? Can you maybe tell me a little bit, like, what is it like being a teacher in Barbados? Can you tell me some of the positives, some of the negatives? Can you try and describe that a little bit to me? What do you think about that?
So, Barbados is a small island with a small population. So the students are not as many as other countries. So I don't have so many classes. Actually, for Monday and Thursday, I had a class, the Introduction to Chinese Culture. And there are three teachers, me and two local teachers. They use their mother language to introduce Chinese language, Chinese culture. I think how to say that the students can understand the local teacher, but maybe the local teacher can very understand the Chinese culture. So
Okay.
that's why I am in this class because I know Chinese. I know Chinese culture,
Right.
but I cannot use English to explain it very correctly.
Right.
So the local teacher would help me.
Right.
And for I just said I teach at a college, which is Barbados Community College. The students, they are like between 16 to 20. And there are two classes. One is for the computer science student. One is for the language elective. And
Okay.
I enjoy two classes, but they are very different. The
Right.
the language student they can speak like English, they are learning French, Spanish, German, Italian, or something. So they learn Chinese very fast. But they are a little quiet. A little quiet. And most of the students are girls, so they are not very activity. But the other class, the computer science, there are 12 students, and the boys are more than the girls. So they always talking. That's a little challenge for me to see.
Okay.
I don't usually say that. I just say, hello, excuse me.
Right.
Yeah, their activities, they make the class more funny or something. So
More, not funny, Ian, we use here in that situation. Funny is ha ha ha, but thing is more fun.
More fun. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Very good. More fun. Yeah, I understand. Definitely. Yeah, that's understandable. Although I think that it depends on the people. I've had classes with only guys that are very quiet and didn't want to talk or anything, very nervous. And some girls are usually, in my opinion, more outgoing. They like to talk a bit more, but it depends on personal experience.
Yeah, it depends.
Right, of course. But very interesting. Actually, that is something, Ian, that I think would be also very interesting to work on with you, like these situations. Have you come across situations that you didn't know how to handle yourself in classes with your English? That some situations was really difficult for you to express yourself, or you had difficulties with explaining specific things? Have you come across that very often in your classes?
And for the language part, I think I can handle it because I have 1 year, 2 years experience to explain this word, this structures in English. That's not a big problem for me. But for the culture part, because most of the class we need to spend maybe 10 or 20 minutes to introduce the Chinese culture. So when I run into this situation, it's a little like, for example, 1 week I introduced the wedding, the Chinese traditional wedding. That's a challenge for me.
So is the challenge for...
Yeah, they can understand me, but I know that I speak it very, there are so many mistakes. They can...
Okay. Go ahead,
Please. They can understand me, but I know I need to improve my English.
Right. So specifically this, like explaining specific parts about Chinese culture as well, is really difficult for you. Is it because you know the words in Chinese, but you don't know them in English? Or is it vocabulary? Is it sentence structure? What is the main issue in this?
I think the main issue is the structure. Because if I don't know these words, I can use other words to explain it. But for structure, it's like it's amazing.
Right, you make a lot of mistakes when it comes to structure. So before you do this at school, do you practice this in advance? This speech, this explanation? Do you practice this at home? Or how do you generally prepare for this?
Some of it. But I know I should prepare it in advance, but maybe it's a little busy. I don't have time to prepare it very, very much.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, I want to give you this opportunity, and since that is also something I felt in the beginning, like what would be really important for you, and I'm very happy that you brought this up, that it would be really interesting to maybe try some situational practice classes with you. Basically, what that means is that we are going to pretend like we are doing or using the English we need for our job, and we're going to try this in class so that here you can practice these things. We can give you corrections. We can try and help you organize your sentences. And if you don't have a lot of time outside of Cambly and you don't really have a big plan on Cambly, I feel like maybe once a week or twice a week, it would be very interesting to try this with you, to try and practice these situations. Like, Ian, explain to me what is going on in the Chinese housing market. Probably you can explain it to me, but it would be a little bit difficult, right? Like these kind
I
of
think
things.
that's a good suggestion.
Right. How about I write that down, Ian? So let me write that down maybe, that if you want to, we can try a situational practice together next time.
Okay.
The only thing I would like you to do is just tell me in advance what you have to talk about in school or something you want to practice with. Then I can make sure that I vaguely know what it is about already. Then when you come to class, you can try and explain things to me like you would in school, and I can help you with your confidence and making sure that we can organize your sentences a little bit. Right?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
That's a good suggestion. Thanks.
Sure. Then we will do that. Yeah, that's usually the thing, right, Ian? Like when we become older, of course, regular classes are really fun and they're nice and structured. But in real life, we sometimes need to face things really directly to practice for specific situations. So that is why I think that would be very important for you to at least once try to practice these things once a week or something. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let's do that maybe next time. Do you already know what topic you have to discuss next time, or do you have a topic in mind that you want to work on with me?
Maybe I need to think about it.
Sure, that's fine. That's fine. You just let me know. You just let me know in advance, right? Just send me a message. Okay. As well, Ian, earlier about the Chinese weddings that you had to explain, right?
Yeah.
I'm a little bit curious because I've heard about Chinese weddings. I'm fairly familiar with it, but how long do you have to talk about this at school? Like when you have to discuss this, is this 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes? How long do you have to talk about these things?
Yeah. So there's a topic. It's a Chinese etiquette and ceremony. So I need to introduce so many ceremony and etiquette. And this part, the Chinese wedding, this part, maybe I will use 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right, for 15 minutes. So you have to explain so many different things, right?
I introduce a video. So I need to they will see this video and I express.
Right. Okay, cool. I'm very interested in that. If you want to, you can always share this type of, if you have a video or something, you can always share that with me. And in class, like again, we will focus on, just imagine that I am your student and there's a lot of students behind me and you're explaining this. And then let's see I'm very curious to see how you do that. Very curious to see how enthusiastic you are. That's very cool. I'm curious to hear it. What are some other topics that you have discussed before in school? What are some other topics?
The Chinese history, the calligraphy, Chinese painting, and the tea ceremony etiquette.
Tea ceremony etiquette, right. Right. Is there a part of Chinese culture that you personally are very interested in, or is everything interesting to you related to this?
Actually, I think it's the Chinese history, maybe.
Chinese history, right, exactly. Oh, cool. Okay, interesting. Modern day Chinese history or ancient Chinese history? Cool. Again, I'm very curious about all of these things. I can't wait for you to explain all of these things to me. And I really want to see how well you can organize your sentences and if there is a big problem. So if you want to, Ian, just send me that in advance. And then I can't wait to just listen to you and see how well you explain yourself. Very curious about that.
Okay, thanks. I should have met you earlier.
I mean, it usually happens, Ian. It usually happens. It's usually happened, but no problem. And of course, don't be discouraged because you can still use these things, of course, the regular Cambly classes if you want to, but maybe once a week or twice a week, I think that would be interesting to try this type of class with you.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay, very good. You're welcome, Ian. You're welcome. Then I will wish you a good rest of your day. Do you have a busy day ahead of you, Ian? Do you have a busy day?
Busy day.
Is it going to be busy for you today? Do you have a lot of things to do today?
I have a class from 1 to 5.
From 1 to 5, 4 hours. Good.
But 2 hours is for the local teacher, but I will stay there. And from
Okay.
5, I will teach the class.
Good, perfect. Well, I wish you good luck, Ian. I'll hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you.
Okay.
See you next time.
Please stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye.
Thank you, Ian. Have a good day. Thank you.